Hey again, and welcome to the Stouting Off podcast, where we spout off commentary on the everyday. Hello again, and welcome to the Stouting Off podcast. I am your host, Drew Stoutenberg, and I'm the host now and forevermore, and I am joined live in studio by my producer, Jordan. Jordan, how are you, man?
Doing great, thank you.
I've recently fallen back in love with my massage gun, man. This thing cured me of tendonitis, and I can't get enough of it. I playing drums and playing semi-professional ping pong, table tennis. It sounds a bit loud, so I'll just probably shut it down for now. But I did want to feature it because this thing, I've been living and dying by this thing. And in fact, you don't have one, do you?
No.
You got to get one. I mean, when you get to our stage in life, it's funny, but it's also true. All homes should have one of these. Mine is by a brand called Ached Away, and it's awesome. But I had bad tendonitis a couple Decembers ago, specifically December. It was December 2018, and man, I couldn't move my wrist without major pain, without watching the movie Major Pain. And so I had this wrist pain right here in my wrist, and it was as a result of muscles being too tight in my forearm. So I got a massage gun, and I just drilled down on this all the time, and it loosened me up, and now I'm healed in Jesus' name. So, no, but I also have a friend who he's a friend I know from the gym and from our church, and he plays guitar professionally for a big country artist. And he, on his guitar neck hand, is having issues. And I'm like, you have to get a massage gun. And he's like, yeah, my wife and I are probably going to buy one within the next couple weeks. We just had that conversation a couple days ago, in fact. So by the time you guys hear this, actually, my friend Kellen will probably have purchased a massage gun. So that's cool. It's cool how time works like that. But yeah, I mentioned table tennis earlier. I love hobbies. And if I don't have a hobby or something to really sink my teeth into, I don't do well. I'm not thriving. So a couple years ago, I was playing a lot of ping pong at work with some coworkers, and there was one particular coworker who just had my number. And I'm a competitive guy, and I'm looking up videos of how to beat this guy, and I just couldn't beat him. So I said, you know what? He's playing the most basic game ever. He's playing really basic strategy. He plays with a non-stick paddle, and he's just returning everything. Simple, no spin, no nothing. He's just consistent. I said, there's got to be an easy way to beat this guy. And so I started taking professional or private table tennis lessons with a former national champion of the Ukraine, David Klashik, in Farmington Hills, Michigan, founder of the Farmington Hills Table Tennis Club, FHTTC. So that should tell you enough what you need to know. But this guy was so fantastic. He was 72 years old at the time, a few years ago. And at the age of 20 or 22, he won the national championship there in the Ukraine. And the Ukraine, at the time, to my knowledge, was a table tennis powerhouse. So that should be a testament to David's his prowess on the table, so to speak. But it was a lot like the movie Dodgeball, where there's this what seems like an older, washed-up guy, and he's asking you to do all this crazy stuff, but he actually knows what he's talking about. Like, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. And but he wasn't doing anything weird or unconventional like that. But he would just be like, down, pedal down. Like, he would, it's like a perfect example. When you're doing something like that, golf is a similar way, I think, where it shouldn't necessarily feel right when you do it. At first, at least, when you're learning how to swing and such. Table tennis is like this too. It's like when you're in grade school and you're there for picture day, and they tell you to, okay, now turn your left shoulder and look over your shoulder, and and now put your hands like this. Nope, closer to your body. Nope, a little bit out toward your. They're like posing you in all this different way, and it feels like you're a human pretzel. But then you get the picture back, and you're like, oh, it looks great. That's what it was like with table tennis. I'm like, are you sure I should be getting this low? My paddle should almost be touching the floor. He's like, lower, 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 and yeah. And then I just turned out to be pretty good. And then so my buddy at work. I mean, it wasn't really competitive anymore because, and that's not even a brag. Like, I went out and got lessons. That's kind of dorky, but we stopped playing at work because it wasn't fun anymore because I was winning. So that's cool. And then Franklin, Tennessee here, just a town or two south of Nashville, they are the host city for the Nashville Table Tennis Club, which I've attended twice. And I just get, what was the expression I was going for? Oh, yeah. Basically, my opponents just mop the floor with me. That's what I was going for. Smooth communicator right here, so that's cool. And no, they're really good down there, though. And I've made a couple friends, though. One lady, what was her name, actually? Her name's in my phone book. It's like Lucy Table Tennis Club or something like this. She's not from around here. She's this like cute little Chinese lady. She's amazing at table tennis. She does sales for some company and comes through occasionally. So whenever she comes through, we meet up at the club, which has been twice, the Table Tennis Club, of course. So we go out to the club and we hit some table tennis, some ping pong balls around. You can find me in the club. Paddle down, full of bub. Was that the lyric? Never got into Under Armour. Out of all the athletic wear companies, I've never been an Under Armour guy. I don't know why. I just don't identify with that brand. Do you have any Under Armour stuff? I keep almost saying underwear. That just goes to show you how not on my radar Under Armour really is.
I used to be into hunting, and so that's like a big player in the hunting game, like for like base layers and stuff like that.
Okay, maybe that's part of the reason why. Like, I don't know, like you don't see Nike out in the hunting world and kind of like an Under Armour hat that has like a little fish hook on the side of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, hey, I'm clearly an outdoors guy. Like, so basically, my question for Under Armour is, okay, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you're grown up now. You're an actual clothing brand. So, you know, what market segment are you really identifying most closely with? I think that's what it is. You can't be everything to everybody. You can't be even something to everybody. But you can be everything to somebody. And that's what we're aiming to be with the Stouting Off podcast. We want to be everything to you podcast listeners who like us, okay? But yeah, Under Armour, I just don't really get it. I think Nike's way cool. I think Reebok is cool. And I think Adidas is cool in its own right. I think Adidas actually sponsors the NHL. Like, they're the sponsor for the NHL jerseys now, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. Historically, they've been kind of soccer.
Reebok?
Soccer. Yeah, well, Reebok.
Reebok for NHL?
Yep. It went Nike, I believe, and then Reebok, and then Adidas. Yeah. A lot of money floating around there in sponsorships and stuff.
Yeah. Under Armour is kind of big in golf, too.
True.
Shoes.
Oh, you know what? I just met the state rep for Under Armour for Tennessee, and I think a couple other states. Any store that sells Under Armour, I believe they go through him. He's actually the guy. He's actually the guy who brought the friend to the movie theater that was talking in my ear.
No kidding.
He's my buddy's housemate who brought the guy who then was chirping. And that was on episode 7, I think.
Yeah.
7? Does that sound right?
Or 6.
Was it 6?
Yeah, I think it was 6.
Cool little hack I came up with, or I found recently, and by recently I mean within the past couple of years, but I had to utilize last night, is if you feel like there's a zit coming in, you can put toothpaste on it overnight, and it will like take care of it. So if you look closely, I have a little something right here, but it was much more of a something last night.
You put toothpaste on it.
I slept with toothpaste on it. A couple of spots on my pillow. It's all right. It's water soluble. Just, rinse it out with water. But pop a little on there. You wake up in the morning, you wash it off. Good as new.
Smells good, I'm sure. Up there
it smells great.
Sleep.
And it's got a little menthol cooling sensation, too. Just one little, tiny little localized spot right on your forehead. Actually, where was mine?
Did it mess with the mask?
No, the mask kind of dipped under it. So here's where it is. Good question. The mask goes like this. But that's a great question. It is. It's nice, though. It's nice knowing that something like that is out there, and it doesn't have to be some high-priced Neutrogena, whatever. You can just put toothpaste on your zit, and you're good. I get stuff right here, though, because that's where the zit was, right between my eyes, because I will... Man, like my unibrow growing capabilities are off the charts. I have to maintain this like daily. So if you pull out too many hairs, guess what? Exposed pores, and now they want to do zits. Now zits want to come up. They want to do zits. And that's all I'm going to say about zits. No more, because I got tired of that topic, and I got grossed out by it the more I talk about it, even though I like popping them. But that's another story for another time. And my buddy posted this on his story today. He just went back to, like, I don't know, the store with all of his returnables, empty cans and bottles and stuff from, you know, the lockdown, the pandemic, when we were all taking it really seriously. Just sidebar, never mind, just kidding. And the bed of his truck was filled with all these bags, and I wanted to respond back like, okay, so what? That should total about, I don't know, $8.
Right.
That's my thing with returnables. I'm blessed and fortunate enough to where, like, it's not, and I don't want to sound like, okay, the way I explain that makes it sound like I'm some entitled jerk or whatever, but like, to save all of that stuff and like the process of bagging it, taking it in your car, which I don't have a truck. I don't want those empty cans and bottles like in my car where they could all, I don't know, the little empty, the remnants of what's left in there could like leak out. And then you take it all the way up to the store, and that's nasty too. It's not worth the $5, you know?
Right. You're going to recycle them.
I'm going to recycle them. Yeah, as soon as I finish like a LaCroix or whatever, which I only do the off-brand Kroger brand, and they taste the same. But that is also beside the point. I'll take that can, I'll just put it in my recycling bin. Like the returnable aspect. Although I heard of a story many years ago of a family in my community who they afforded a family trip only based on returnable stuff. Like they would go around, I don't know if they would go to like people's homes and stuff and be like, hey, do you have any empties? But I do know they would like go through trash. And they weren't like a family that necessarily like needed to do that, but they were just like frugal.
Yeah.
Frugality, it's a core value around here, but yeah, a truck bed full of like empty cans and bottles and stuff. I'm like, that's gotta be $5 to $8 max.
What's the show? I don't even know what network it's on, but the show where people will do that, like save paper towel, and it's
yeah. Is it Cheapskates?
Yeah.
There are some funny people on that show.
I
actually,
mean, there's guys making like 80, 90 grand a year, and they're still going through people's garbage to look for cans and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Cheapskates. I remember crying about some dude's antics on that, and I can't remember any of the specifics. But I was watching with our buddy Joel, and we were just like, we were beside ourselves just with how cheap and the lengths to which this guy would go to save 1 cent.
Sure. Dude, there was a guy, the last episode that I watched on that, there was a guy who bought a house, a new construction, and then covered every piece of flooring, carpet, and everything like that with plastic, lived in it for 5 years, and they're like, don't you want to like enjoy your house? All he cared about was the resale value, dude.
Oh my
Which at the
gosh.
end of the day, okay, it's cool, but like more oftentimes than not, people are going to refinish the things or whatever, you know, like.
Oh my gosh,
dude,
you ever meet somebody who, this especially was common back before like iPhones were like 90% of people's phones, but people who keep the little plastic protective screen on their phone.
Sure.
It comes on there. They never peeled it off though.
Yeah.
Where you and I are normal people, so we would just take it off right when we got it out of the packaging.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the best parts about getting something new is taking off that.
Yep. I believe Johnny Nagel kept his on. He had a little external display on his flip phone too. I think he kept it on there. And that would also come on like computer screens, TV screens.
TVs.
People would keep those on there.
Yeah. For what?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I want to enjoy the product
as
it was intended to be enjoyed.
That's it. And this guy who's living in a shrink-wrapped house, new construction, it's not like you can put a dollar value, in my opinion, you can put a dollar value on just enjoying your current time. You know, be prudent, plan for the future, and absolutely like be very cost conscious. I try to be as well. I've talked about how much coffee costs, for example. Do all that, but not to me, it's not worth it at the expense of enjoying today.
Right.
Sacrifice today, sure, but don't be miserable today.
Take your shoes off when you walk up the
That's
stairs.
it.
Don't cover it in plastic and still walk on it with your shoes out the door.
That's right. That's right. It's that simple. And that, if I was to run for president, that's going to be my platform. Take the plastic off your new electronics and don't shrink wrap the inside of your house, you freaks. Vote Stoutenberg McMillian 2020.
I'll be there, but in the background.
Yes. This is a juicy topic. And I've got the research in my drawer here with this picture of me and my brother backpacking in the Rocky Mountains, 2015. Is it in focus?
Tilt it down a little bit. It's in the glare. There you go. Fold it over.
Oh, this should help. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's nice, though. Good. Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. I'll have to go through a couple pictures in there for another time, maybe today. So listen to this. Some people don't know this. I just found out about this. Jordan, tell me if you've heard about this. Why Britney Spears' fans are convinced she's being held captive. Have you heard about this?
I've heard about this, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Listen to this. For the past 12 years, Spears has been confined by a conservatorship, which is like kind of like a legal guardian when somebody isn't considered like mentally capable of taking care of themselves. She has been confined for the past 12 years by a conservatorship that leaves her without control of her finances, business, or personal affairs. And for the past year or so, her fans have been speculating with increasing fervor that the conservatorship has left Spears, now 38, a prisoner in her own glamorous life, and that she is in need of rescue. So I think her dad actually, I think that her dad is the guy who's taking care of all her stuff.
I believe so too.
There was this one particular Instagram thing, and people are saying, for years she hasn't been in control of any of her stuff. Like she's been a puppet of her parents, specifically her dad, and I think her sister Jamie Lynn. Listen to this. Anything she wants to do, this is what. Anything she wants to do, she has to ask permission, as if she were a child, says Elaine Renoir, president of the National Association to Stop Guardianship Abuse. She doesn't have the legal right to engage in a contract. That has to be done through a conservator. She can't do anything. So for their work, conservators are paid a healthy salary. According to the 2016 New York Times report, Jamie Spears made an annual salary of $130,000 and took home 1.5% of the gross revenues from Spears' Las Vegas residency. So Jamie Lynn, her younger sister, was her conservator for a while. Conservator? I don't know how to... I feel like I'm over formally saying it. Listen to this. Oh, this one. I liked this part. This was interesting. You might tell me Rumble just now. Okay. Stand by 1 second. I'm scanning the article. She has a regularly updated Instagram, but after a prominent post went up with an emoticon rather than Spears' preferred emojis, and another one recycled a clip from 2018, fans have begun to doubt whether Spears is always in control of what is posted on it. It is rumored that Spears' access to the internet is heavily curtailed and that she is only allowed a flip phone, like Johnny Nagel until 2012. Spears has... There was a part in this where she was like, where fans were like, Britney, if you're in trouble, somebody commented, if you're in trouble, wear a yellow shirt on the next post.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the next post was like her in this yellow top. And you could I felt like, I've seen the clip. Have you seen the clip?
Yeah.
You can kind of tell that there's a little something going on, seems like.
She said something about this. I don't remember if it was a date or a certain time or whatever, but it lined up with this movie, this Disney movie. And that particular minute and second in the movie was like, help me, like they've got me captured or something.
Yeah.
Like this.
And I think she did a similar thing with a book too, but and I mean this with all due respect, but is Britney Spears that cunning and that clever to do that?
Not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Can't say.
And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to say anything else about her capabilities. Anyway, isn't that just so interesting? She has had a weird history, specifically in the public limelight. Remember that person, that sweet young innocent girl?
Yeah.
Baby One More Time was such a jam. I remember the first time I heard it. I was at Woodland Lanes bowling alley. Actually, we were leaving. It was a church youth group trip. We were leaving, and
Plymouth and Farmington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Woodland Lanes. I wonder how they're doing through the pandemic. I hope they're still open. Good folks over there. Good folks. Do you say the L in folks?
No.
Do you any hint of it? It just sounds like FOKES, folks.
Folks.
There, I heard an L in there. I feel like I heard 15% of an L.
Folks. I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying folks either. Like it's FULKS.
Folks.
Yeah, I have a client name with the last name Folks.
Know anybody who says both?
Yes, Joel Hall. He'll say both or both. What else does that? He says both. One of our friends says egg and leg instead of egg and leg. Grow up. Get a clue. You know who you are, man. Come see me. Egg. Yeah, would you like some scrambled eggs this morning?
Can't do that.
You cannot. I feel like I speak perfect English. I feel like I feel like when people say, "Oh, you got an accent, Midwest accent. Oh, you're from the Midwest clearly." I'm like, "Nope. I am the quintessential English speaker." It's all y'all who have the accents. Speaking of women in the limelight, celebrity status, I have another update from a famous woman, Martha Stewart. Now, she's had an interesting run.
What's she saying?
Well, I'll tell you. She's saying a lot. Remember when she went to jail? What were her charges for which she went to jail?
Took me to marthastewart.com. Sure, it's not
Martha
on there.
Stewart living. Let's see. I can either order 9,000 counts Egyptian cotton sheets or look at her prison sentence and mugshot.
Found guilty, felony charges of conspiracy, obstruction of an agency proceeding, and making false statements to federal investigators.
Wow.
Sentenced in July 2004.
Wow. You never like to hear that. And she was in jail, I think, for a bit, and then she was house arrest, and then she did some weird collab with Snoop Dogg. I know that they're friends. So that's cool. But anyway, Martha Stewart, here's the headline. Martha Stewart, Queen of CBD. Martha Stewart has launched a line of hemp-derived cannabidiol, I don't know that word, rich gummies. Anyway, she started a CBD brand. So that's cool for her. She joins a crowded market with around 3,000 brands. I was going to say CBD.
Lots of brands going around.
Yeah, even like just on the main road here.
Yeah.
When you go up and down, you can see like all these CBD places.
One of my friends just opened a shop in Belmead, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like muffins and like baked goods. CBD.
Muffins and mittens and mufflers.
Muffins and mittens and CBD.
That's that's from The Office. He's like, yeah, Dunder Mifflin. It sounds like we either sell mufflers or mittens or whatever. Jim says that. Anyway, she joins a crowded market of around 3,000 brands of CBD companies. Wow. Yeah, okay. They anticipate that by 2023, that industry will grow by $10 billion in annual sales.
Jeez.
At a time when consumers are experiencing higher levels of stress due to the pandemic. There it is. An opportunistic business. Like, that's business. All successful businesses find a need for the right people at the right time, and that's why they succeed. You know, while the number of new CBD buyers has slumped in the past year, experts say Stewart's household name could help attract female consumers in the 46 to 55 age range. And again, stammered in there a little bit, so that's cool. Could help attract female consumers in the 46 to 55 age range. And you know, so much research went into that. Like, these companies who look up stuff like that, they've got just thousands and thousands of data points.
Yeah.
Cool. There's a little bug on our light. That's always nice. It's like a little bug, like a bug zapper. What if dual purpose bug zapper and whatever you call it?
Light.
And studio light. Every once in a while, just in the background here. Did you go camping a decent amount as a kid? Were you guys a camping family? Camping. Okay, I have an accent. I get it. Camping.
No, we didn't go as kids, but I went like post high school. That's when I started getting into it.
Okay. See, that's kind of when I slowed down a bit, but I still try to go at least once a summer. Didn't go this summer or last, but no, I do try to go. I love camping, and that was like our vacation of choice as a family. Especially like my dad, like he was big into that. And growing up in Michigan, you just drive 3 hours north, and then you're in like beautiful part of the country, and
Best,
and the Great Lakes are like freshwater oceans, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you haven't been there, just picture an expansive horizon where you can't see the other side. It's beautiful blue water, and there's no risk of getting stung by a jellyfish or eaten by a shark. It's awesome. But I guess the trade-off there is that we don't really get waves in those lakes.
Right.
You know, the Great Lakes don't really get waves other than like maybe 2 or 3 footers here or there.
Yeah.
And they're usually so cold. But anyway, I want to go to our first segment. What have I been watching? So this one isn't, it's not necessarily new, but I just yesterday watched in one day Goldeneye and Casino Royale. And I did a side-by-side comparison of Pierce Brosnan compared to Daniel Craig as James Bond, 007. Have you seen those films?
Yeah.
Firstly, I have to just give proper respect to Goldeneye as a franchise, because that was arguably the best Nintendo 64 game of all time. Goldeneye. Did you guys play that in your household?
Oh yeah.
Playing as Oddjob would be like totally cheap to do, you know, because he's so short and it was hard to find him or shoot him.
The world of local gaming, man.
Yeah. Screen peeking, like you can see where everybody else is.
Inviting 3 people over to your house.
Yep.
Sour Patch Kids.
Mountain Dew. That was before all the fancy Mountain Dews too. It was just Mountain Dew.
It's just Mountain Dew.
You didn't have Code Red. You didn't have the black, the blackish, purplish, cloudy one.
Baja Blast.
That stuff slams.
Pure cane sugar or whatever it is. You know?
Is that one of their Mountain Dews?
Yeah, something like where it uses real sugar.
Real cane sugar. We'd
Tastes
still love to
different.
know what cane sugar is, because I know that like if you go to a Mexican restaurant, they have like that brand. I always get like the orange soda, and it says pure cane sugar. Would love to see what sugar cane looks like someday in real life. But anyway, GoldenEye, what an amazing game. What a beautiful game.
True.
What a beautiful game it is. Did you have any favorite maps on that? Mine was Frigate. It was like a boat one.
Oh, yeah.
And then also the Complex.
Complex was
Sweet and had ramps and stuff.
There was one laboratory, right? Laboratory was one.
Yeah, the facility.
Yeah, facility. Yeah.
That was
where you
cool.
kind of go through the doors.
And if you shoot a chair long enough, it'll explode, like actually combust. But anyway, GoldenEye with Pierce Brosnan, and then I watched Casino Royale with Daniel Craig, and that was over the course of a day. And of course, whenever I watch a movie, it's going to be in 3 or 4 installments, because I can't sit still and pay attention to one movie for an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. So anyway, my conclusion is this. I thought that Pierce Brosnan is more handsome and like more suave and stuff, but I think I like Daniel Craig more.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I agree. Yeah, I do.
Like, if you were the director or if you were the creator of that series, who would you want to be your James Bond?
Daniel Craig.
It would be Daniel Craig?
Yeah.
See,
between the two?
Between those two.
Yeah, Daniel Craig.
And I don't even, people say like all the older guys and stuff. I don't even really identify with that. I think people in 1950 and 60 and 70, I think people looked different back then.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
They had different features, even
Yeah.
though that's not true, but they look different, dude. I can't picture them in modern day.
Even like hairstyle and things like that play a big
goes a long
and
way.
obviously like what they're wearing and stuff.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig and 007's always wearing like tight suits and like just
and
looks
he's jacked.
yeah, it just looks awesome.
The man is jacked.
Yeah.
He is in fantastic shape. Good on him, honestly. I always say this about like famous actors and stuff, though. Zac Efron, all these guys who get in shape for like for roles. If it was my job, and I had a private chef and a personal trainer, and I had you just got to train for 4 to 6 hours a day, I could do that.
Yeah.
I would look awesome.
Sure.
And that's the only reason why I don't.
Honestly, like unlimited supply of money, or what seems like it at least.
Yeah.
You have to eat 30 chicken breasts a day.
Yep. And your private chef can make it taste really good. So
Yeah.
you won't get, food fatigue basically from eating the same thing every day, which is what I do, which when I'm eating right, it's going to be brown rice and chicken breast and like broccoli every day for dinner.
Yeah.
And I don't even do like sauce or anything. It's boring. But it's quick cleanup and it's got the nutrient that I'm looking for. But yeah, Daniel Craig is jacked.
Dude, yeah. I gained a lot of respect for Daniel Craig. My father-in-law recommended a movie to me, and it's called Knives Out.
Oh yeah. I haven't watched that yet.
What blows my mind is, he's got like a British English accent,
Yeah.
And in this movie, he's got a deep, deep Southern accent,
Respect.
and he plays it the entire time. That's just always been a massive, like, oh, this guy's sick.
Yeah,
if someone can do that,
I think that's mad talent for sure. Let's see, Sarah Walker in one of my favorite shows of all time, Chuck. She is the female lead. She's from Australia, and she plays a girl who I think is like from New Jersey or I don't know, New England or something. But anyway, just like speaks like American English, no accent, that you can tell. And then you hear her in interviews, and she's totally from down under.
Isn't that crazy?
Rescuers down under, actually.
I've never understood that about songs either. Like, no matter where you're from, it's all in our language.
It's American. So anyway. Maker's Mark cask strength. Have you had this stuff?
Yeah, I think here.
It must have been this.
Yeah.
What are you pointing at?
That's what you've been watching.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And so, anyway, that's what I've been watching. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the best producer in the business. I don't know how long it's going to take for y'all to understand this. Okay? And if anybody tries to come and poach him from the Stouting off staff, you're going to have me to go through first. He's mine. He's ours.
I'm his.
That's awesome. When I am working throughout the week, I've mentioned before I'm a recruiter for a third-party recruiting company, so I'm on the phone a lot. I'm making a lot of calls and a lot of texts and emails and stuff. But I do a lot of stuff right from my phone. And when I'm on my phone, I don't have AirPods to look, like cool. I have this Bluetooth ear dongle. It's one of these Bluetooth earpieces that's still, even though it's cool, it's made by this company called Sennheiser, which makes like really pro audio stuff, including for like recording music, pro gear. Whenever I'm wearing that, I feel like just the biggest tool on earth. But I kind of like it. I think when I wear that, I kind of relish the, like, almost it's almost like this whole idea of like when you have it on, it's just you're too busy for everybody else. But I don't go, I'm not wearing it in public, especially on the phone. It might be on my ear if I like get out of the car or something, and I go. But I'm not going to be taking calls. And Ed Bassmaster actually did a YouTube thing on this where he would be like, it was like a prank where he would be pretending to talk on his Bluetooth earpiece, but he's saying something that someone right next to him in real life would absolutely believe that he's talking to them. For example, he's at like a jewelry kiosk in the mall. And he's like looking there and he's pretending to be on his Bluetooth, and he's like, yeah. How much are the 24 karat earrings there? And then the person next to him would start talking and be like, well, sir, those are $3.99. And he'd be like, yeah, hold on a sec. What's that, buddy? And then the sales associate would be like, you know, those are $3.99. He's like, no, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to my Bluetooth. And then the guy's like, oh, I'm sorry. Those are so funny, but they also make me cringe.
Sure, yeah.
But they're also so funny. There's also another one where he's like, he's standing next to a guy, and he's like, yeah, which way is the promenade? Asking for directions. And the guy's like, yeah, it's right down there. Take a left. He's like, hold on a sec. What's that, buddy? He's like, yeah, it's right. Oh, no, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to my Bluetooth. Excuse me. He's like, yeah, it's just ridiculous.
That's hilarious.
I love pranks. When YouTube first rose to popularity, pranks are what I primarily used it for. Remember our first YouTube video? Our first foray?
Man, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, so years ago. Jordan and I have been like really close friends. Best buddies.
Yeah,
I mean, just like absolutely inner circle guys for a long time. All the way dating back to 2006, we were part of a band for like this church retreat that we were playing for our middle schoolers at our church. We were like out of high school, but actually you weren't.
I wasn't yet.
You were a junior in high school.
Yep.
I was graduated 1 year. And so we made this like video of like this campfire song, Bazooka Bubblegum. Doom, doom. My mom gave me a pen, bazooka bubblegum. Anyway, we made this video, and the students, it popped off with the students. They loved it. They wanted to see it at every session. We were there for a week. And so out of nowhere, like a couple weeks later, we're seeing this video of ours get like 20,000 plays, 40,000 plays. And to date, I believe it has it's like a 90,000 play count, but I have it hidden. It's actually on the Stouting Off channel. We could make it visible for some. If any of our viewers request the Bazooka Bubblegum video, we'll make it available for you. You just have to make the request. We'll make it available. We'll send you the link.
Yeah.
But anyway, Bazooka Bubblegum found out about the video, and they sent us like a ton of stuff. And this was back before, you know, we had endorsements, you know, like the Dickies endorsement and stuff like that. Dickies doesn't know they've endorsed us or that they're a sponsor, but we just love them. Yeah. They're not a sponsor. They're not paying us. We just love their stuff.
If you think about this, we made that video before the iPhone came out.
You might be right.
Yeah, it came out in 2008, right?
Wow, you may be right. I may be crazy, but it just might be.
Yeah, that video popped off though.
Popped off. It was cool. They sent us shirts. They sent us like 3 tubs of gum and stickers and a basketball thing, and yeah, it was really cool. I don't know. That was fun. That was just fun. Unexpected stuff. When you're just making stuff because it's fun, like we're doing with the podcast, any like notoriety or any like attention or money or material goods that come from it is bonus.
Yeah, true.
Because we're just having fun. This is my favorite part of the week, hanging out with you. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is the best.
It's great.
Drinking Maker's Mark cask strength, you know, talking about Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
These are the things that dreams are truly made of.
True.
Lee.
Truly. And we can talk about them and people can relate to them.
That's it.
And that's the key ingredient.
It is. It really is. Is there anything else you want to add today? Are you good?
No, I'm good.
That's how I always end phone calls. Anything else from my end? Even if I called them, you know? No, that's all. That's why I called that. Yeah, that's all I had, Drew. I'll ask Will that too when I call him sometimes. I'll call him. I'll be like, did you see this? And he'll be like, yeah. I'll be like, all right. Well, you got anything else for me? No, Drew. That's all I called you for. So anyway, please subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Apple, and I almost stammered on that, but I didn't. And then follow on Spotify, follow us on Instagram, etc. Please let us know what you're thinking. If you ever want to hear about a particular topic, DM us on Instagram, and we'll absolutely shout it out on the Stouting Off podcast. But as always, thanks for listening to the Stouting Off podcast, where we spout off commentary on the everyday.